So conservatives being hypocrites when it comes to anything is not surprising, but of course they're being hypocrites on the most popular entertainment franchise of all time, and that is the Grand Theft Auto games. And it's a really funny like spin that they're putting on it now. So basically, if you guys haven't been paying attention to this shit, you probably haven't seen it. Conservatives were saying that GTA 6 had gone woke because they confirmed that there's going to be a playable protagonist who is a woman. They later confirmed that it's basically going to be two playable protagonists. It's going to be this couple, like a Bonnie and Clyde type story, right? And initially, people were going mad. They're like, oh, it's like a Latina woman. That's woke. Now they've changed their tune where it's a heterosexual couple. So that's a fuck you to left-wing people. And actually, it's being delayed to remove all the woke stuff. And what I want this video to serve as is just obviously like reacting to some of these comments and arguments, but also just to reiterate, like I have done on this channel maybe twice, GTA is a pretty left-wing franchise, and I really wouldn't bet on that changing anytime soon, considering like Red Dead Redemption 2 also had a lot of what people would consider left-wing messaging. Now, most people would consider that woke. I know it changes in definition and stuff, but it seems like woke means anything, right? It means anything to do with the left or liberals. And GTA has always been more left-leaning, and it has always attacked liberals and conservatives, but usually from a left-wing direction. And that's what these people get so confused about, because often you will hear conservatives even admit, because it is so apparent, well, it does make fun of conservatives and things like the Second Amendment or gun culture in the US, but it also makes fun of everyone. It just makes fun of everyone. It's like the libertarian direction of South Park, where it satirizes everyone. That is a fundamental misreading of GTA, which for the longest time was primarily anti-conservative. So I want to talk about that today in relation to people thinking it's gone woke, it's anti-woke, or whatever. I fully expect GTA to be consistent with everything Rockstar has put out since GTA 4, and even before that, where it will probably make fun of liberals, and it will probably make fun of identity politics, but you will fully expect in this game for the game world to be making fun of conservatives and the powerful far more than it would someone like myself, for example. And before we get into it, just shouting this out again, my girlfriend is running a half marathon and she's raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. Thank you so much for everyone who has helped raise money. I know the situation is increasingly bleak and dire, so it does feel like very hopeless. But again, as this is like small YouTube community, it's really the best we can do. Keep raising money for these organizations that help Palestinian suffering. So give anything you can, and thanks so much to people who've already given to mine and now my girlfriend's fundraiser for this organization. And let's keep going forward with the video. So yeah, the GTA trailer came out and there wasn't really any gameplay. It kind of gave you a glimpse at the tone. It feels like GTA. It feels like GTA 5 more than the bleakness of GTA 4. And I thought it looked cool. And there are two things that are pretty much guaranteed in this game. There is going to be a massive Michael Mann influence. He's a film director, if you guys don't know. And there's going to be a Phil Collins or Genesis song. Two things I can guarantee you. Now, I'm pretty certain that Michael Mann's Miami Vice, and of course the original Miami Vice, which Michael Mann worked on a little bit, that is going to be a major influence. I've actually seen a character already who looks like a main character, who actually looks like Colin Farrell in Miami Vice. So I do think that's going to happen. But as we've seen in other trailers, it's obviously going to be like this big satire of just Floridian culture. And I'm generally excited for it. Like, I like the GTA games. I am a GTA fan, I would say. I've played pretty much every single one to completion. I do prefer Red Dead, and I would love Rockstar to actually do something else, because I'd say I vastly prefer Max Payne 3 and the Red Dead games to any of the GTA games. And if I'm going to pick a GTA game that is my favorite, it's going to be the most grounded one, the most like one that was aiming for realism at the time, and that is GTA 4. So the direction they keep going, over the top games set in LA, and now like a version of Miami, it's not as much for me, but I'm sure I'll enjoy this. And as much as I think GTA 5 is a good game, I think the story was a big downgrade on the previous one. But anyway, it's going to be good. We all know it. It's GTA. Rockstar have that quality. It's also going to be the best-selling game of all time. And it's really interesting. Like, there's pretty much nothing that can happen that will make this game not successful in any way. And there's no way this game won't be a massive success. And that's what puts it in such an interesting position politically, because everyone's going to play this. It doesn't matter if it's like woke. The main character could actually be like a communist or something who fights the police in this version because they uphold a system of like capitalism and discrimination, and everyone would still fucking buy it, right? So it's in a really, really strange place. But again, GTA is so popular, it means everyone has an opinion about its politics. But of course, because it has such a mass consumer audience, the majority of people don't actually even pay attention to the political satire or commentary in these games, especially if they're going for a more over-the-top direction. Like, what is the political commentary to a lot of people of Michael and Trevor in GTA 5? I mean, like, I can tell you it from my personal perspective, but most people wouldn't be able to tell you. But let's get into the reactions to the trailer before we talk more about the politics of GTA. The two protagonists of GTA 6, someone saying, if this game is anti-cop, then I'm not playing. That is not a parody account, by the way. I had a look at that account. It's fully serious. It actually reminds me of this. Someone said, a list of the games I have not played, all the GTA games. Elon Musk says, tried, but didn't like doing crime. GTA 5 required shooting police officers in the opening scene. Just couldn't do it. I'm glad shooting cops in Cyberpunk is completely optional. I never finished GTA 5 either. So funny that like the world's most evil person draws the line at fighting video game NPCs. Obviously, the king of the incels, Grums, was saying that he likes the game, and this is the big shift I want to show you all today. Conservatives are now saying GTA, the new GTA, is actually not woke, and it's actually even anti-woke because of the heterosexual nature of the couple in the trailer. But these people are so fucking insane. So people have missed the subtle nuances of that trailer. They very much want you to see Lucia as a woman. This probably means one of two things. They're trying to dispel the woke concerns, or she was originally intended to be a transitioned man, and they're trying to fix it. Someone else saying, I bet most of the game is done and they're busy changing a lot of the story around because of the cultural shift. 100% making it less woke. Under the reaction to the trailer, one of the most liked posts is GTA 6 is not woke. That's a winner. Other people saying, thank God the lead isn't a trans, black, lesbian, disabled, midget, Muslim. The gaming industry is healing. On Kotaku in Action, which is a conservative gaming subreddit, people saying, a 2025 AAA game with a strong white heterosexual male protagonist and a girlfriend that doesn't look like a cave troll from Lord of the Rings. I'm still pessimistic, but at least there's hope. Maybe it's the trailer, but this gave me more of a we're in this together and we actually care for each other vibe than girl boss with beta sidekick Yas Queen direction everybody was worried about. I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah, boy, heterosexual romance in 2025. Looks fire, to be honest. I like it. Felt like half the trailer was just saying, look at her huge ass, which I see as a green flag. I like this comment especially. As a lot of you said, I'm cautious about this one, but I'll be honest, to see a trailer like this in 2025, I have hope. It's silly. I don't want to treat it like a dumb child story, but I think the tone goes for that. Silliness. It has a lot of ass, hot chicks, strong white male, guns, pure, unadulterated, 80s action. It's Vice City all over again. And that's not bad. The music, my dudes, the music. I hope they aren't hiding the message beneath all this stuff. The girl is hot. I'm interested in the romance. I'm cautiously optimistic that it won't be censored and wokeified. Guess we'll see in a year. And then this guy, like one of the worst accounts on Twitter, massive grifter, GTA 6 is once again making fun of every political party, and fools thought Rockstar would ever censor their own satire, Lamau. So here you've seen the trailer, proud allies of diversity and treats. It's like a pro-LGBT organization, I guess. I thought this was an advertisement. I don't exactly know what this means. If someone in America can tell me if there's a one-for-one comparison for what this is. When I saw this, I thought it was satirizing rainbow capitalism, which, again, would play in nicely with the general trend of GTA that it is a left-wing critique of American society, which includes, like, liberals and conservatives for the most part. This account also posts, GTA 6 trailer has, like, 10 shots of her ass. Rockstar knows their audience so well. Their audience are definitely individuals with testosterone and don't bend the knee to cancel culture. But again, if conservatives want to argue that GTA is not woke because of a heterosexual relationship, I think they're going to have a bit of a shock coming for them, because if we look at the history of the series, then we're pretty sure that this game will be left-leaning and will be left-wing. So obviously Rockstar's latest release was Red Dead Redemption 2. And that, although set like 120 years ago, had a lot of left-wing political commentary, mainly on things like American colonialism, American capitalism, and basically industrialization of America as well, at the expense of different ways of life and also the Native American culture. But that game doesn't tackle industrialization from a more like traditionalist point of view, that like all modernization is like really terrible just because. It's more because of the profit incentive. That's what makes this really terrible in America. It's not some sort of like trad fash viewpoint about industrialization and capitalism. So that is like their latest entry. But then Max Payne obviously had a lot of commentary using Max as this fish out of water in South America, mainly Brazil, and just, you know, having these whole aesthetics of different films like City of God, for example, to really talk about the inequality in Brazilian society and just general capitalist society. And I feel like that game is just like amazing, not for the politics, it's just amazing generally. And then obviously about the same time as Max Payne, a year after it, we had GTA 5, which was this satire critique of like LA culture. And I would say it's one of the more weak satires and political games that Rockstar have made. And we've seen with Red Dead Redemption 2, they're not like shying away from politics in their games, but I feel like GTA 5 was just them being like, okay, we love Michael Mann so much, let's make like our own version of Heat, but make it even more insane. Like this game is just Heat the game, mixed in with a few other things like Breaking Bad and The Sopranos, and I feel like it wasn't really trying to say anything important. Of course, they do have some political messaging about conservatives and liberals and Silicon Valley and things like that, but I don't think it really left much of an impression on most people. Of course, what GTA 5 essentially became as well was pretty much something older GTA games with satire, with them having like a literal real casino in GTA Online that you could spend real money at. But obviously, we don't know how much the actual creative team were involved in that side of stuff. I would highly doubt the narrative team and the creative team and the team behind GTA Online were actually the same. Now, let's talk about GTA 4 and the old GTA games, about the woke messaging. I've played a couple of these clips before in older videos, but I've just realized these videos are actually like years old now, like 3 years old. But basically, GTA 4 is probably the best example of why GTA has always been like left-wing. It's kind of like the culmination of the older GTA games. And GTA 4 is this immigrant story about Nico Bellic, someone who comes to America seeking the American dream, does kind of get it in some ways with money, but basically has to do terrible things to get there. You could kind of see it as, you know, a different take on something like Scarface. Obviously, like a fair bit of influence from things like The Godfather, maybe something like Eastern Promises as well. But basically, what GTA 4 fundamentally serves as is a response to George Bush and the Bush regime, the war on terror, neoconservatism, and American capitalism. In terms of the general story, in terms of like capitalism and its anti-conservative politics, it's just about like Nico Bellic and I guess the very much the hollow nature of the American dream. And even if you do achieve wealth or whatever, it's not really going to fix anything within your soul, and you're going to have to probably do terrible things to get to the top. And Nico Bellic does very terrible things to get to the top.
Capitalism is a dirty business. War is where the young and stupid are tricked by the old and bitter into killing each other.
And he is left at the end a pretty broken man. And he hasn't been rewarded by the American system, even though he has amassed, you know, quite a lot of money through things like robbing banks and killing people. But it's really the subtext of the game, which is more a criticism of the Bush era. So that comes through like the radio station, it comes from the police forces, and it actually has its own version of like Rush Limbaugh, Alex Jones. I'd say Rush Limbaugh is way more of an influence on this. And it's actually Ted Lasso himself doing the voice. I'll play you some of it because what's so crazy about this, I listened to it again today, is this could be from now. Like, this could be from a Twitter space or some fucking shit like that. Like, it's so relevant still. It's actually scary. And of course, it's mocking conservatives. It's mocking conservatives. And in no way does it ever mock liberals or left-wing people this scathingly. It dedicates a whole radio station to this guy. This is a whole radio station, by the way. You can have this on 24/7 listening to his fucking shit.
WKTT, because democracy is worth suppressing rights for.
The children of America need to look up to people like Derek the Dodo, and not some liberal puppet on public television teaching you how to count. Okay, there's only 3 numbers I care about, and that is 3, 2, 1, launch. All right, and that is what I like to hear. right before we send a missile country's mouth. All right. Now, if I need my kids to be taught tolerance, sometimes, which is a dirty word in my household, tolerance, but I'll tolerate them fighting. Okay, that is what I'll tolerate. I don't need them to learn about life from puppets. Okay, we've gotten into the PC mode of like, hey, we're all the same, we're all equal, man. Hey, women can do anything that men can do. Yeah, right? Yeah, sure. BS. Okay, I don't shop uncontrollably. Okay, I can drive a car for more than 30 minutes without hitting something. Okay, that's the difference. Now, today we're talking about family values on the program, and I'll tell you right now, I'm married to 2 women. My wife, my lovely, lovely wife with her beautiful hair and pretty face. The second person I'm married to, America. Now, here's my thing. I won't go down south on either. Why? Because it does not help with populating this great country with real Americans. There are a lot of great traditions left, like hating open-minded liberals and spreading unsubstantiated slurs about them.
So obviously, like, good satire because it's funny, but it's also not even close to the line anymore. Like, it's not like it's nearly true. It's like, that is literally just conservatives. That is all conservatives now. And also, of course, to satire like American foreign policy, but neocon foreign policy, which is about going into another country, destroying it and rebuilding it for capitalism and US imperialism. It has the Republican Space Rangers, which look like Master Chief, and they just go around destroying alien civilizations for Earth.
This is my home, brothers. Here it is you who is strange. Can't we all get along?
Make sure you get the children! They'll just turn into insurgents themselves! Innocent people back home will suffer, I repeat! They will suffer!
Hey, this here registers as a strange planet on the insurgent scan. Well, it's on the map, but if I can pronounce the name.
No surprise there, but I say we take no chances anyway. Let's give them 8 kinds of hell, Butch! Fire it off!
With pleasure, sir.
I bet these punks have no capacity whatsoever for peaceful coexistence, drive-through liquor stores, gun shops, or the democratic freedom to have their votes discarded in swamps!
Again, there is nothing similar in regards to liberals or anything like that. It's just this. It's just conservatives are bad. George Bush is bad. Neoconservatism is bad. The war on terror hysteria is bad. It has some commentary on the radio as well about like economic issues like the stock market, pharmaceuticals and everything, which is like welcome and stuff you'd come to expect, and it is present in GTA 5 as well.
Weasel News.
In health news, as more and more people realize life is pointless, their pensions are worth and they'll never be able to afford old age. A new medical report published today shows an unprecedented increase in the number of middle-aged people taking up smoking. Faced with the choice between dying at 60 or living for another 20 years in abject poverty without access to medical care, many men and women in their 40s and 50s have decided they'd rather party now and smoke themselves happily into an early grave. Other unhealthy pleasures like fast food and laughter are also said to be making a comeback.
Weasel News.
Will the markets crash? The Nasdaq has taken a serious pummeling today, with the index down below an important number for the first time since a while ago. Although this seems very dramatic, the fact is it doesn't mean much. Hedge funders, traders, and financial services people were looking anxious until they realized they claim fees whether stocks go up or down.
In a near-unanimous vote, Congress passed the Jingoism Act today without much debate.
Besides outlawing encryption and privacy, the act makes it mandatory for all residents to speak well of our government. Residents were pleased with the act finally passing.
The Nasdaq skyrocketed 5 points today as the American dream became even more of a confusing mess controlled by bankers and rich investors. Growth and value indices showed higher than average default on ARM loans, but not 15-year fixed liquid commodities funds in an effort to thoroughly confuse you and make you think that all this really means something.
But I'd say GTA 4 is the best example of this. And also, what's so funny is being old enough to remember these games coming out, the Ballad of the Gay Tony was a DLC for this game. Imagine if the Ballad of the Gay Tony came out for GTA 5 or came out like tomorrow. Imagine the reaction. A DLC about your best friend being a gay man who runs a gay nightclub and you go around gay nightclubs dancing. Like, imagine what they'd fucking say about that now. And it's just so funny that I was 13 when it came out and I don't remember any gaming YouTubers even complain about this. Everyone was just hyped about it. No one gave a shit. Like, I'm not joking. I'm not just saying this like with nostalgia on. No one cared. And everyone thought it was amazing because it was like a really great DLC. I'm not saying there's no problems with the representation in that DLC itself, but you would say everyone today, if that came out and Gay Tony was a side character in GTA 6, everyone would be losing their mind. Now, even going back to the old Vice City games, there was a lot of commentary on things like conservatism and like their hysteria around anti-communism. That was quite funny.
What's this I found under your bed? The only Engels you're going to read is Laura Ingalls Wilder.
If you think your child might be a red, here are some warning signs. They read complicated literature and have concern for their fellow man. They even like to share. Tell your kids if someone approaches them with pamphlets about recycling, an invitation to a labor rally, or showing any doubts about the fairness of our system, then they should find a teacher or a policeman immediately.
I don't know how much this will be present in GTA 6, but fundamentally, overall, GTA does criticize all sides in some regard, but it's always been anti-conservative. Of course, this all ties up with the real world politics, but it was conservatives who were trying to get GTA banned and all Rockstar games banned for a long, long time. So the Hauser brothers and the original team there, they obviously just hated the conservatives trying to censor them anyway. So based on their trend of the GTA franchise and the identity of the GTA franchise, which you can't divorce from this anti-conservatism, and what they did with Red Dead Redemption 2, I know that's a while ago now, I fully expect GTA 6 to be what GTA has always been. It's going to be a combination of a lot of the creators' favourite movies, and I fully expect Miami Vice to be a big influence on this. I feel like it is already apparent. But think of things that are also set in Miami. Think of the classic 80s films. Think of Scarface. I'm even thinking of things like Carlito's Way, which was such a big influence on the first Vice City game. And obviously, all that gangster stuff was such a big influence on Vice City, including the original Scarface as well. So GTA 6 will be just an updated version of a Brian De Palma film? I don't know. And there will be commentary on Floridian culture. And let's remember that Floridian culture, Floridian politics has always been really, really anti-socialist and really, really conservative. And I highly doubt GTA is going to be like, fuck yeah, Ron DeSantis is great. Because we all know there's going to be a character inspired by Ron DeSantis that is going to be shown to be a bad person who's an idiot, right? Like, we all know that's coming. So why are people pretending that GTA is anti-woke and going to be, like, anti-left wing because there's a straight relationship at the forefront? As if we don't have that with most games already right now. I think The Last of Us 2 is the only game I remember recently, like major AAA game, where you're playing as a protagonist in a lesbian relationship. So anyway, that is it for the video. Just wanted to kind of talk about how GTA is going to be woke, and it's going to be good for being woke, and it's going to be better for being woke. And GTA has always been woke, so it'd only be fitting for it to keep in with this core identity of what its politics have always been over the years. And no matter what, it's going to be the best-selling game of all time, probably. So that's it for the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching.